Hello, this is Lou from Lou's Reviews, and this week I'm looking at World War Z. It stars Brad Pitt, and this time around he has his long, luscious hair again. The dude just looks as handsome as ever. He looks like he just finished a commercial for Chanel, or Head & Shoulders. And I have to say, this turned out to be a pretty decent zombie movie. As you can tell from the TV spots or the freaking name of the title, this is a zombie apocalypse movie on an epic scale. However, despite its superstar lead who also produced it and the high production value, by the end of it there are plenty of other better zombie movies out there. Dawn of the Dead, Shaun of the Dead, 28 Days, 28 Weeks Later. Yeah, I know people are saying it's not a zombie apocalypse, it's supposed to be an infection. Well, in World War Z, it is an infection, so you could argue either way. And one of the negative things that I'll talk about later is Brad Pitt. And be like, whoa, Brad Pitt, he's an awesome actor. He's been nominated for Academy Awards. How could we be punning the guy? Don't worry, I'll explain myself in the next minute. Just hold tight. The cool thing about how the movie starts is it starts off with a bang. Literally, like bang! There's blood and guts and spinning ass was everywhere. Cars were exploding and people were smashing their heads through the windows like, what the fuck is going on? Ah! It was pretty awesome. I was pretty surprised at how fast things started going, but it was awesome. No, don't leave me, no! It's like first 5 minutes, holy crap. But let me tell you, one thing that I can't get out of my mind right now is the first 5 minutes of The Last of Us. If you haven't played that shit, go play that shit. Now going into this movie, I heard some pretty interesting things, especially the fact that it's based on a book. The book isn't constructed in a very straightforward linear narrative. It's actually composed of interviews from people from across the world, from Korea, USA, Jerusalem. Now I didn't read the book, I'm just paraphrasing from a person that I interviewed who did read the book. So Brad Pitt plays a character named Jerry Lane, and he's an ex-UN investigator. He has a wife who's played by the chick in The Killing in the AMC channel. He has 2 daughters, but he has to leave them on a refugee boat to go save the world. So of course the genre that this movie fits into is action horror, but there's a very strong investigative mystery side to it. Because that's what the book is generally about. This guy is investigating these certain people to try to pinpoint where the outbreak happened, and if they could find a cure for it. Because if you find the source of the outbreak, you could find the cure. Hopefully. And that's what I really liked about the movie, the mystery behind it, but it's overwhelmed by the action. There's one highlight for me in the movie. They spent a good portion of time being stealthy. So lately I've been playing a game called The Last of Us. And it's one of those games that when you're encountering your enemies, you could go about killing them however you want. You could go in guns blazing, or you could be stealthy. And if you get caught, zombies will start chasing you. And they're not the dull, dim-witted, slow zombies. Like, the zombies in World War Z, these guys fucking bite. It's kind of like you're running down a hall being chased by Pac-Man. And as I mentioned before, I gotta talk about Brad Pitt. It's the same Brad Pitt that we've seen from Ocean's 11, 12, 13, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Meet Joe Black. We all know that Brad Pitt can play the calm and collected, cool-headed character. But I felt like this movie, World War Z, didn't need that kind of performance from Brad Pitt. Because I wanted something more from the guy, because we know he's capable of great acting. Like Fight Club, or Seven. What's in the box, Morgan Freeman? What's in the box? But I may be pushing it too much, but God, did you see him in Interview with the Vampire? Such a tormented soul. I was so intrigued by him. What I'm trying to say is, I know that Brad Pitt is a great actor, but I just didn't feel like his skills really shined in this movie. And I just want to nerd out a little bit. If you guys seen the World War Z poster, there's a picture of Brad Pitt and his back is toward the camera and he's looking at a decimated city and he's holding like a military rifle. And this is a badass looking rifle. The thing is, the guy never used it in the movie. He just used a hunting rifle, a knife, and a handgun. That was a very misleading poster. Whoever made that poster, I hate you. Well, enough's been said. This turned out to be a very decent zombie apocalypse movie. It's all fun and excitement and had a very intriguing mystery story to it. And it's pretty much everything you'd want in a blockbuster summer movie. 3.6. So next week there's another movie exactly the same as Olympus Has Fallen where they're attacking the White House. And this one, it's actually more straightforward with the title. It's called White House Down. But I'd much rather watch Monsters University. So I'm Lou, and this is Lou's Reviews on hatsauce.com. But before you go, remember to look down, like, and subscribe, and you're good to go. Oh! We're all gonna die!